with me for another edition of Coffee Talk, number 480. Live stream, 7 p.m. This is Tuesday, July the 22nd, 2025. Right at 7 p.m. And I am drinking Nescafe coffee with carnation creamer. And I have not had a chance to see it, but Uncle Al got my box and he did a video. Several people have commented on it, and I just uploaded a video of the box he sent me, a mail call, which y'all should be able to see. Uncle Al, Die Bullfrog 79. How's it going? Thank you again for the wonderful box. I truly appreciate it. Oh, it's been a day. Been a day. And whew, I had a nice shower. I got cleaned up. Did some trimming. I feel better. Deodorized. Been a day. Cool day where you're at. Well, it's probably 90. Was probably 92 here. Haven't had any rain recently. Receiving notifications of people leaving comments. 2 in the house and 1 like. A little slow, just getting started. But it's a good day. It's a good day. Got an early day tomorrow. Got to go in at 8 o'clock in the morning. Enrique Trevino, how are you doing? Well, Enrique, there's a couple of videos for you to watch. Yoda's Blessed Life. Hello, Dave. Your video will be the next one, Dave. Your box will be the next one. I just got Uncle Al's mail call loaded up. And apparently he did my mail call. Have you reached 15K yet? I'm still chasing down the 2K. I'm at 1993. So I would hope at some point in time in the foreseeable future, the next couple of years, I'll hit the 2K and you'll probably be at 2 million. Calf coffee. Good stuff. Okay. Well, buying space. Hello, Myra. 14,759. Wow. Verna, how you doing, young lady? Vase place in the house. Eight in the house, 5 likes. Please leave a like to support the channel. It will be greatly appreciated. Well, I've got several shorts I can load up. I just haven't done it. I have loaded some shorts, but I've got some more. And I just got through loading up the video. It takes a while to get the thing uploaded and everything approved and all that, and they bless it. YouTube's got to bless it and make sure there's nothing controversial in it, or something other that they want to, ban you for life for. But I did it. It's about a 7 minute. It is, and it's got a nice, it's a nice one, I think, and I appreciate Uncle Al for what all he does. he gave me some good stuff for this evening for a topic. Little Lone Prepper. Hello, Barbara. Nine in the house. And 6 likes. Please leave a like to support the channel. It'll be greatly appreciated. So, when I hit the 2K, which I'm getting close, I mean, I'm clawing and inching my way to 2K. Clawing and inching my way. And this is one of the things that was in Uncle Al's box that I really appreciate him for. And it's got a clip on it. You know, old school light, nice. Put it in your hand and give you some strength of the punch if you had to. Walter Davis. How are you doing, young man? Walter missed coming into last night's live stream by just a few seconds. He left a comment afterwards. I appreciate Walter. He's a good guy up north in Pennsylvania. Nice comments. Creative Redundancy, hello. Melinda Elliott, hello. CR. How you doing? Yesterday, I had 75 views, 23 likes, 347 chats, and my total watch time, well, I gotta calculate that one, trying to do the math. The day before, I had 9.88 watch hours from the actual video, and then I had a couple of more afterwards. So, you know, anytime I'm getting 10 watch hours out of a 1 hour video, I'm happy. Live stream, I'm happy. I appreciate y'all. Everybody saying hello to everybody else. Pre-retirement days, how's it going? Oh. And I apologize for the casualness of my attire. I took a shower, I got cleaned up. Very hot day. Did the beard and did the... Took care of some business. So you got purged? Good Lord. Thank you. I got to go in the morning at 8. I got a meeting. They can purge Dave and he won't even recognize it because he every day he picks up hundreds of subscribers just about. It's like, God almighty. Mom of 4 boys. Hello, Rachel. I have not had, I haven't had a visitation from that channel. I think they finally got the message. Julie Ann West, how you doing, young lady? Thank you for coming in, my friend, from Wales in the UK. $12 in the house and 12 likes. Life is good. I hope y'all enjoy. You know, I've been trying to step up my game with my content that I've been putting out. I mean, I always try to put out decent shorts, but my videos, I put a little, you know, it takes more time to do them. Put a little bit of extra and try to make sure the editing and all. I haven't been putting in music the way I used to put in music in them, but I try to make sure that the editing and the graphics and everything, I spell the words correctly, check all that stuff out. And I really appreciate the support I've been getting. And I appreciate the extra stress ball, Uncle Al. This came in Uncle Al. One of the things that came in Uncle Al's box was a stress ball. And, you know, they're not expensive, but they're very good. And, you know, it strengthens your hand, gives you something to do for stress. You know, and I've got a pretty good grip because I use, in my right hand, I use a stress ball. So this was nice. Thank you so much. You know, and that's part of what we'll talk about this evening. The level of education people have, difficulties that we have when it comes to home training and such, the way things are these days. You know, I record segments. I record segments, and then I use iMovie to edit it. Well, you know, as far as Taco Talk is concerned, which is my backup channel, I really have not been using it. I'm really trying. You know, I've got it basically to store backup from my main channel, material from my main channel. I store it on private. And if something were to happen to my main channel, I could basically start releasing to build a backup channel. Build a backup channel. My backup channel is like at 108 subscribers. I mean, it's a small channel, but I mean, it's where it could be to where I could start working with it, you know. Well, that's good. Yeah, Rachel, I know you've had trouble with your eldest. God bless you. I understand. I certainly understand. Solar flares disrupt the audio. Yes, solar flares. They play havoc with the satellites. Well, I am drinking Nescafe coffee. And I'm waiting to reach the 2K so I can get the 2K video, the giveaway, the drawing, and all that. I want to get that out of the way. Be nice if I could do that before I'm back on contract, you know, full time working. I don't get to do that much during the week. I mean, I I try to do some live streaming in the week. But honestly, when I'm back at work, it'll probably be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I may do one day a week in the middle of the week, like maybe Tuesday or something. I don't know. Yeah, YouTube does mess with people. They do. They do. You say stuff they don't like. See, one of the things I think about, and I bless Dave. He's a good friend. He really puts out good material, but he doesn't put out stuff that YouTube doesn't like. So they really do not mess with him to the extent that they mess with me. And it could be the same thing with Uncle Al. I mean, YouTube messes with him. They don't like things that he says. They don't like his content. They don't like his conservative tones and various things. So they get him, and they're looking. Their algorithm is set up to basically watch for you, so they can get you. I mean, honestly. Yeah, please hit the like button. It helps with the live stream. When you're monetized, and I am monetized, and I've been monetized for about the last year. I could have monetized 6 months before I monetized. I was way over the 4,000 watch hours. And some people, they build up in a hurry, and they get 12, 1,500. In less than 6 months, they've got 12, 1,500 subscribers. But they have a hell of a time getting those watch hours. They trying to get the 3,000 watch hours, much less trying to get the 4,000 watch hours. And a lot of people are on that quest to hit their watch hours. Uncle L's on probation until August the 12th. Double secret probation. Double secret probation. 10 in the house, 13 likes. Yeah, I understand. He's your child. And he's your eldest child, and he thinks you've been horrible to him. He hasn't seen horrible. He has not seen horrible. I hope he never does. So we're 18 minutes into the live stream. Let's get into the topics. Got some good topics. Rachel, never kiss what you should kick. That's one of my sayings. Never kiss what you should kick. First topic is Guam. Instead of the Philippines, and the Philippines used to be part of the, used to belong to the United States. We got it in the Spanish-American War, and we let it go. And we still have a relationship with them. We still, I think we reoccupied Subic Bay, the base. We have a defense pact with them. A lot of expatriates live over there. Expats live over there. It's very, very reasonable cost of living. Their two official languages are Tagalog and English. But don't want to talk about the Philippines. Let's talk about Guam. This is part of America. You don't need a passport to go to Guam. Belinda's Country Living, how you doing? I just put out a new video, Belinda. You guys need to leave me a like and a comment on the new video. It's probably going to be one of the last 5, and I'm only like 7 away from hitting the 2K, so don't wait a long time to do it. It's they speak English, no passport, tropical climate, summer and rain, beautiful landscape, lots of women, families, and tourists, good food, and very safe. This is Guam. Is Idaho Garden Girl in here? Did you sneak in on me, Idaho Garden Girl? Did Idaho Garden Girl come in and I missed her? Yeah, I sent a box to Idaho Garden Girl, but I don't think she's in here right now. She's probably working on her animals. Anyway, one, it's very safe. It is a U.S. territory, very red. Was brutally occupied during the war. Angry islanders. Lots of ex-military and three-letter types live there. A short plane trip to Asia. Only 30 miles. Is home to 2 large military bases. Little or no crime, security, and safety. No left-wing protest for 2 reasons. Military personnel and islanders with spears and clubs. One stupid stunt by imported protesters from Hawaii by a former billionaire, liberal billionaire, back in the 1980s. There was an incident. It's federal territory. Repeat to the slow people. We have nuclear weapons there. Since it's an active nuclear site, island police arrested and warned the protesters. The idiot protesters refused, threw rocks and sticks, fireworks at the island police. Suddenly, waves of naval security, marine security, and air force security appeared. The island was under martial law, backed by angry islanders. Again, for the slow people in the room, the U.S. territory, a red area, military and nuclear weapons. Many of these people were released from federal prison in 2016. Oh yeah, they got prosecuted and they served federal time. The former billionaire is still in prison. Wouldn't it be great if that happened here? You know? Wouldn't it be great? Where they're having all that the grief in those blue cities, if they could just go in and clean them out. Over 200 people were arrested, tried, convicted, and served long federal prison terms. Don't do the crime unless you want to do the time. The 2 major problems in Guam: wild pigs and feral dogs. No taxes on Guam. A lot of tourists from Japan, the Philippines, South Korea, Thailand, Taiwan. This is a first taste of America. Hillbilly Josh. How you doing, Hillbilly Josh? Joseph Moore, my friend. Welcome, gentlemen. Enjoying the live stream. 13 in the house and 15 likes. So that was the first topic, talking about Guam. That, you know, there are places that are very conservative, you know, U.S. and U.S. territories, where they don't have crime and good living, you know, good patriotism. They don't put up with the woke. They don't put up with the liberals. They don't put up with the BS. you know, and we need more of them. And it's going in that direction. It's going in that direction. Topic number 2, testing your IQ. Now, I know a lot because of my education background and special education and such. I know an awful lot about intelligence and how it's determined, tests that are given, the different levels of intelligence. And I'm going to go through a little bit of that. So, unfortunately, a lot of people have low IQs. You know, communists, socialists, Democrats, not the brightest people in the world. There are 2 tests for MESA, average IQ for Americans. The idea, average IQ based on the Wechsler scale, bell curve of intelligence. The idea is that the average intelligence is 90 to 110, with 100 being the absolute. That's the way it's zeroed for. And 68% of the population are between 90 and 110 on the IQ scale. There's 16% that are below that and 16% that are above that. And I'm basically going from memory now. I'm not going from the notes. One standard deviation below would be 85, and that's low normal IQ, low IQ. 2 standard deviations, which would be 30 points, which would be 70, that's MR, mentally handicapped, mentally challenged. They used to call it mentally retarded, MR, but trying to use some nicer terms. Below 70. The further you go down, the more severe, profound, and usually you start physically, you see them like Down syndrome and such, and you can tell based on the way they look that they're mentally challenged. Bungut Vogs, how you doing? Thank you for coming. I apologize. I haven't been looking to see who's coming in. I've been talking. I get going. Bungut Vogs. So, IQ can be lower or lowered by bad home training or being a NEET. NEET, no education, no employment, no training. You know, usually if you don't get intellectual stimulation at home, it's going to be rougher on you. If everything's got, if there's not like a mother and a father, you know, 2 parents, if it's not a nuclear family as they call it, if the parents are not very well educated, if the parents are not very intelligent, you know, the kids. You got to have good home training, good education, good employment, good training. That's what Uncle Al would call being a GHEET. Asians score higher than your average Occidental American on average. They score 5-6 points higher in IQ wise. And it's the upbringing, it's the work ethic to a large extent. Currently, most administrators, teachers, and students scored lower than Zimbabwe, Brazil, and Venezuela. That's the U.S. due to illegal immigration. See the Department of Labor and the Department of Homeland Security. During the last 35 years, education levels were dropping by alarming rates. COVID did not help. A lot of kids stayed out of school for a couple of years during COVID. Supposedly they were homeschooled, or that they had Chromebooks and they were like computer training. Yeah, the top quartile, 25% or so, probably took care of business. Their parents took care of business, and they didn't do too poorly. But then the other quartiles, especially the lower two quartiles, they didn't really receive any education to think of, and they really did not pick up any skills during that time. So they're all a couple of grade levels behind, just based on the fact that they were deprived of an education for a couple of years. During the last 35 years, education levels were dropping by alarming rates from the Department of Education due to the rise of the internet, illegal immigrants, and bad home training. To combat this problem, testing, update testing, progress testing, seeing how they're doing on an annual basis. A mentor, proper education for administrators, teachers, and students. They hire a lot of people who are not certified teachers, who are not qualified. They hire people who are not degreed, that they're working on their degrees. They pay them a substandard wage, and they tend to be at the most difficult campuses, the ones that have a hard time retaining and acquiring staff. You know, the inner city neighborhoods. Now these are notes from Uncle Al, but I'm ad-libbing stuff as well. He said, bring back corporal punishment, K through 12. Back in the days, you did not have to get parental permission to spank a kid. You spanked a kid. Parent didn't have anything to say about it. Back in the days. And at that time, they really didn't have to do much corporal punishment because kids knew. You know? They knew they were subject to being spanked, and their parent, wasn't going to come up to school or call up to the school and say, you can't spank my kid, or I don't want you to spank my kid. Oh, there probably were a few, but they really didn't have much say in it, because back then the law was, we'll beat the kid's ass. So discipline was a lot better. They didn't have 4 or 5 assistant principals at the campuses. They may not have any. They may have 1. Back in the day, teachers spanked the kids. They would issue a grade book and a paddle and say, use both. Teachers had paddles. Oh, he's not saying corporal punishment. He says capital punishment. He wants them executed. No. But there are places where they would cane them, or they flog them. There are countries where a lot of the British Commonwealth countries, the countries that Britain controlled at one time or another, they'll cane them. They still do that. They will beat that ass. Beat them on the back, beat them. Strap them down and beat them. And they don't have to do that very often. And they usually have, everybody gets to witness it. They get to witness it. 10 in the house, 17 likes. Yep, flogging. That was years ago. As a matter of fact, the parents, he was over in Indonesia or someplace, and he'd committed some crime or something other, and they raised unholy hell trying to keep him, from getting in trouble. And then he wound up coming back here, and then he wound up later on assaulting his parent. And the parent did everything they could to try to protect him over there, to get him out of trouble. Yeah, I forget the name, but that's been probably going on 20 years ago, maybe. I remember it. So another thing that Uncle Al has talked about, 3 days bug out or survival run without dying from point A to point B. Do that in 6th grade, he said. Only survivors pass. Like a retention type thing. They do testing over in Europe, a certain age, and then you're either on a college track or you're on a vocational track based on your testing. They get you into a vocational training. Repeat before college. Mandatory workforce of military service for 3 years. They used to have the draft. They draft you for 3 years. You do 3 years of service. And back during the Depression, back during the 30s, up until the war, they had, that people would go to work for the government and they'd be in a construction corps. And they would do construction projects. They'd work on projects. They get paid to do it. Conservation Corps and such. They either do the 3 years or they do 10 years of hard labor. Incarcerate and prosecute them and do 10 years of hard labor if they refuse to do it. After school mentoring in study classes to complete homework and learn college level studies. No more lame excuses. And I will tell you, we have like tutoring after school. They do tutoring and they give them snacks. And it's basically for kids who are struggling. When I was a principal, and I would be responsible for attendance, and we would have attendance issues, and I would file cases in JP Court, which had jurisdiction. I would take parents and kids to court for attendance, for excessive absences. Part of what I would get done when they would go to court is that the kids would be mandated, the parents would be mandated for the kids to attend a mandatory tutoring session for 1 hour after school, Monday through Thursday. And if they did not, that would be considered truancy. So they were mandated to stay after school, and it would be the ones that were the attendance problems, and it would be the ones that were the ones that had the poor grades and the poor attendance and everything. And they would also be required to bring in their report cards, and they would be required to show their discipline record. And they and their parent could get in trouble. And I had a JP that was retired military, put 30 years in the military, and he was a justice of the peace. May he rest in peace, Judge Robinson. And he, JPs have the authority to lock you up for 48 hours. He would, on occasion, depending on if it was repeat offenders, you tell them, they go to court, they come back, or they don't comply. He'd lock the parent up for 48 hours, get them on a Friday afternoon, let them out Monday morning. If the kid was 17 or 18 years old in school, he'd lock the kid up for the weekend. Oh, yeah. My second year in Yorktown, I had a state recognized campus. First time in 10 years that had a recognized campus. I had better attendance than the junior high and the elementary school. And usually elementary will have the best attendance, junior high will be second, and the high school will have the least attendance. I had the best attendance. I didn't play. Neither did the JP. Yeah, that would be interesting. Truancy court on television. That'd be interesting. Drinking Nescafe coffee. I'm always letting the second half of the cuff get cool, and then I have to swig her down. Swig her down. All right, so topic number 3. Yeah, it does need a complete overhaul. They do. No, but I mean, not too bright. No joke. I had a Asian math teacher when I was down in Corpus. This was like 25, 30 years ago. And I mentored this young lady, well, a couple of them. And she was a special ed teacher, a rookie special ed teacher, and I was her mentor teacher. And and she, back in the day, she was a very popular, beautiful girl, very, very nice looking girl. And she had been a cheerleader, beautiful girl. And she coached, she was special ed teacher, and then she was coach. She coached female sports. How was she in high school? Told that to the teacher. How was she in high school, in the lounge? Oh, very, very, very pretty girl. Very pretty girl. Not too bright, but very pretty girl. Just not too bright. And he pointed at his head. And everybody, she included, everybody got a good laugh out of it. Very good laugh out of it. Mike Crusher Reviews. Hello, Mike. Thank you for coming. So I got to get Dave's box video done. And then I want to do menu number 4, spaghetti. The spaghetti menu from MRE menu number 4. I've got a Miraqual, a couple of cases of Miraqual that I'm doing. And it would be interesting to open up some Sapaco and open up some Warnick, because I've got cases of all 3 different. Those are the 3 big suppliers. And I got A's and B's from all of them. John Holmes. John C. Holmes. John is crying over Ozzy's passing. And please leave a like to support the channel. Ozzy passed away. He was 76. He really abused himself. He really abused himself. I saw him and he looked like crap in '95. I saw him at Lollapalooza. And he did not look good. He was really out of shape, overweight. He hadn't been touring in a while, and he let himself go. He went to seed. And he really was sweating, and he looked, he was wearing a vest. didn't have a shirt on but had a vest on, and fat, bigger belly than I have, and I'm I'm old, but he wasn't that old at the time. We're talking probably early to mid 40s, and you know, but a lot of those rockers that live, and he lived quite a long, lived 76. He lived quite a long. A lot of them passed away at about 60-ish. If they've done drugs, they've done too much alcohol and all, they basically wore themselves out. A lot of them, they go at about 60. He made it to 76. He had health issues. He did his last concert about 2 weeks ago. It was a farewell tour type thing. So the first topic was Guam. The second topic was IQ, education, that kind of stuff. And the third topic is back to the food storage system. So we'll talk a little bit more about food storage. The 4-part food storage system, or Prepper 101. The working pantry. Out in the kitchen. What you use on a regular basis. To go along with that working pantry and the things that you normally use. You keep a supply of them. You got them organized. Refrigeration. The refrigerator. A power failure alarm. I don't have a power failure alarm. My power failure alarm is basically the power goes out. I've got relatively new. I've got 2 nice Frigidaire refrigerator freezers. And I've got a nice top open freezer chest. So he said power failure and backup power. Malcolm Jamal Warner. Yep. Horrible. Damn horrible. A freezer. Power failure alarm. Backup power. No excuses. No weird setup. Keep it simple, stupid. Wow. I'm reading what Uncle Al wrote that I copied down. All right, Uncle Al, I will look into it. And if you have an overnight outage, the freezer's not, everything's going to be frozen in the morning. Everything's going to be cold in the fridge if you haven't been opening it. And the freezer portion, everything's still going to be cold. Now, over a period of days, then you got an issue. You need a lot of solar if you're doing solar. Otherwise, you want like a dual fuel, like a gas/propane generator. You really want 2 of them. You can run one when the thing runs out after 10 hours or so. You let it rest. You run the second one. That way you can service the first one, let it rest. Maybe you need an oil change at some point. You can have all your stuff ready to do that if you in a grid down situation for hurricane or storm or whatever. Something happens for a week. That way you can keep all your stuff refrigerated. But you need a hell of a lot of solar if you're going to try to use solar for that. A lot of solar. You need a good inverter, pure sine inverter. And one of the other things, a lot of your stuff will surge when they kick in. So let's say that they normally run, and let's say they're running on 700-800 watts when they're running. maybe, and you've got a 1000 or 1200, 1500 watt pure sine inverter to run 110. But when that thing kicks in, it's like 2500 watts. It basically it'll trip your pure sine, your fuse. It'll blow a fuse and trip you have to get special units. I mean, they make them now that like are low startup, so they don't like go to high voltage, you know. They start up at basically where they're running. They don't like surge, so you don't have that problem. But I mean, you got to have all the equipment. You got to have the charge controller. You got to have an MPPT charge controller. You got to have the battery bank, pure sine inverter. When that thing is running, it's using a lot of power just on idle. Not even drawing power, it's using a lot of power. 12 volts, you don't have that problem. But you're not going to be running a full-size refrigerator on 12 volt. You can be running compressor-driven fridge freezers like Bouge RV, or like I've got two Bouge RV compressor-driven refrigerator freezers, like 45, a 50 liters. I can put a lot of stuff in them. I can use them half and half, freezer / fridge, or I can use them all freezer, or I can use them all fridge. And and when the thing's running, it's drawing maybe 50 watts. They cycle on and off the way a regular refrigerator cycles, on and off. Eight in the house, 19 likes. Please like to support the channel. And then you got long-term storage. Proper storage conditions. Temperature and lighting. Like Uncle Al does not like the fact that I've got stuff stored in here. But I've got I keep it 72 degrees. This is climate controlled. There's no direct sunlight. I've got curtains covering everything. And I keep it year-round cool. He talks about vermin and rats and roaches and also I don't have that issue. Don't have that issue. And he's talking about, listen, you spend money on freeze-dried food. You spend money on beverages. You get long-term 30-year, 25-year, 30-year freeze-dried foods, eggs, butter, cheese, peanut butter, cereals, oats, different types of stuff. Milk, whey milk, moo milk, Orange Delight, different coffee. Look at your coffee packet. It will say, it's got an expiration date in 2-3 years. Try the 30-year stuff. It's a little more expensive, but long shelf life. Nita's Cooking Show. Hello, and Top G Network. How y'all doing? I need to visit you, Nita. Same thing, Top G. Please leave a like. Your channel is really taking off. I can remember when I was bigger than you and you're bigger than me. But it's that way with everybody. Everybody seems to be bigger than me these days. I'm just growing slow. I will try to come by and give you some love, Nita. Truthfully, I got messed up the last time my wife, had one of her illnesses where she had surgery and she was in the hospital for a couple of weeks and in rehab for a week, and then she was having to go for wound treatment 3 times a week, and Me trying to work and trying to take care of her and trying to cook and trying to clean and trying to do all the crap that I was doing. And she couldn't really do hardly anything. But that was back in, started in September and it went through December. September, October, November. And I mean, I would run playlists where I would give people hours of watch time, and I had 4 or 5 people that I would run their stuff every night, and they'd run my stuff and get, and I'm not doing that for them now. You were one of the ones I used to run, I'd run live streams for, Nita. And you used to do that for me, if you recall. It is what it is, and just things are the way they are. We're all getting older. But let me say a few things before I close out. KP Heathen, how you doing? Please leave a like. So, when I hit 2,000, and for me that's a big thing. Me hitting 2,000 right now, I'll feel the way that Dave will feel when he hits his 15K. I don't begrudge him in the least. He deserves every bit of it. And Uncle Al deserves his 5K, which he's shooting for. And he's getting close to about 2.5K right now, so he's like about 500 ahead of me. But when I get my 2K, I will be doing a 2K subscriber giveaway. Every 100 since 500, I've been doing a subscriber giveaway. It's taken me about 3 months or so to hit that, to get those 100 subscribers. I'm right there at it. 1993. So when I hit the 2K, I will be looking at who left me a like and a supportive comment, who left me supportive comments in the last 5 videos I will have released when I hit the 2K. And when I release videos, I've been putting in there, that information. So if you want to have your name in the hat for a really nice goodie box, if you want to see what my goodie boxes look like, look at one of the prior subscriber giveaways. Please leave me a like and a supportive comment on each of the last 5 videos I will have released. Not 4 videos, not 3 videos, but 5. When I did the 100 subscriber giveaway on my backup channel, I only had 6 channels qualified. 2 of them were Enrique Trevino's. And he had a 1/3 chance, 2 out of 6, and he won. And he got a real nice box. Hell, who knows? He might win this one. Might be somebody. It might be somebody that's won before. Might be somebody I've sent boxes to recently or before. But I'm telling y'all, please leave a like and a supportive comment on each of the last 5 videos I will have released. And look in here and see who's been here, and maybe you're not friends with some of them, reach out to them. You can pick up, there's some new people in here. You can pick up some new subscribers. And and when I do a live stream, I'm averaging about 10 hours on it. I'll get about 10 hours of watch time off of a live stream. So I appreciate that. When I get up in the morning, I thank God for the day. You don't know how many days you have. I'm 63. A lot of people younger than me, older than me, my age, they don't wake up. I take my medication. I do take medication more than once a day. I take my medication, drink my coffee, try to get right. I say the Lord's Prayer. I pray for my children, their spouses, my wife. I pray for people that tell me that they're struggling or they're having health issues. I treat people the way I want to be treated. I was a scout. And I'm a prepper. And the scout motto is be prepared. The prepper motto is be prepared. And I'm quick to tell people to have a blessed day. And I appreciate you guys. And take advantage of me while I'm here. I'll be going back to work this next week, probably. I may not do a live stream tomorrow. I got to go in tomorrow. May not do a live stream tomorrow. If I don't, I'll be back Thursday. I just released a video goodie box mail call from Uncle Al, and he just uploaded one from me that I sent him, so I need to look at that one. That's the latest video I will have released, and I still haven't hit the 2K. I'm like at 1993 when I started the video, so it's coming. Will I have any more out before? I don't think so, but I need to do one for Dave because Dave sent me a box. I got to do an unboxing mail call from Dave. He got my box. I think he's going to do a video at some point in the near future of what I sent him. Stephanie, I sent a box to. Funny, it cost me $5 more to send her box than the other two I sent last week. It's basically the same thing. Sent one to California, sent one to Georgia. Hers is going to Idaho. And I sent it yesterday, and they said it would be Saturday before she receives it. Cost me $5 more, and it's going to take a couple extra days to get it there. I don't understand that. It's just that they're downgrading their services. Everything's going up, and the services are going down. I don't know. But it is what it is. And everybody, please treat people the way you want to be treated. Lead by example. Say your prayers daily. Tell your parents, your children, you love them. If your grandparents, if you still got grandparents around, you better treat them like royalty. And everybody have a blessed day, and hopefully we'll see you again, probably Thursday, for another edition of Coffee Talk. I really enjoyed this one. It was a good one. Thank you so much. Everybody, take care. Bye-bye.